So with the NBA trade deadline just 4 days away, we get our second big trade of this deadline that's approaching. We obviously saw just a couple of days ago, Norman Powell and Robert Covington get shipped off to the LA Clippers. I thought that was a phenomenal trade by the Clippers. We'll really have to see what happens with Paul George and his elbow injury, and then obviously Kawhi Leonard, who hasn't played a game yet this season due to that ACL injury, which he suffered back in the playoffs last year. But now we see Caris Levert get sent to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think both teams really won this trade for a multitude of reasons because both teams are just in a different phase of their rebuilding, and we have a bunch of young talent phase as of right now, but I love this trade, so let's get into this. So first, getting into the optics of the trade, Indiana receives Ricky Rubio, who had that torn ACL back in December. He's on an expiring contract, a protected 2022 first round pick, a 2022 second round pick from Houston, and a 2027 second round pick from Utah. Cleveland in return obviously gets Caris Levert, and they also get a 2022 second round pick via Miami. Now this trade reminds me a lot of two other similar trades in which we've seen in the past. Jordan Clarkson to Utah and Terrence Ross to Orlando. I think that was in 2017, Terrence Ross, and then 2019, Jordan Clarkson, if memory serves me correctly. All of these guys, from Clarkson to Ross and to Caris Levert, are all scorers, all bucket getters. These guys all have a deep bag, deep arsenal, and that's what these guys do best, is just put the bucket. And these guys just do that best, and that's what I love about this trade. We've seen Caris Levert take off before. I mean, I think he scored 51 at Boston just a couple of years back, if memory serves me correctly. And he's just been a phenomenal player from his time in Brooklyn, obviously to Indiana, but now he goes back to his home state in Ohio. And he was having a great season this year with the Indiana Pacers, averaging 19-4-4. Caris Levert's a great player. And Cleveland did a great job on that side because they've got a first-time All-Star and a guy like Darius Garland, Colin Sexton. Obviously, he had that meniscus tear, so he's going to miss the remainder of this season before he went down with injury when he was like 11 games in. You've obviously got a lot of great complementary pieces like Evan Mobley, who's in the running for Rookie of the Year. You've got C.D. Osman, a great role player as well. Lauri Markkanen, Jared Allen. These guys have got some deep players on this roster, and they're just fundamentally sound. Darius Garland, shout out to him, man, for getting that first-time All-Star appearance. And also shout out to Brandon Godwin, man, FGCU alumni, or I don't know if he's an alumni, but just shout out to Brandon Godwin because he went to FGCU. Now really discussing the Indiana Pacers side of this thing, I think that this was a great trade for them, even though they're losing a great player in a guy like Caris Levert. We've seen the rumors with Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner really from the beginning of the season, and I expect both of those guys to also get traded away before the deadline approaches, or, you know, as we near the deadline as well. They're going to get a lot of complementary pieces and draft capital back in return. And Indiana's just at the point where they're just trying to blow this thing up and just get a bunch of young assets and draft capital. Basically be Sam Presti, OKC Thunder 2.0. And I have no problem with that, really. I think that this is just a great trade for both teams. Both teams get what they want, and also they're just in different phases. But I do want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys drop a like. It takes 1 second and it helps me and the channel out tremendously. Also, hit that subscribe bell to stay tuned for more NBA and Jacksonville Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. There's going to be a lot of NBA content coming out in this next week, especially with the deadline approaching, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Peace.